Hi, I'm U.S. Weather Analyst Andrew Fleck around your 4 o'clock afternoon on your Monday, and this is going to be our Monday's weather pattern discussion. And we're going to talk about what we're going to be getting into throughout this week. And leaving the 2 week pattern discussions aside, we'll start doing weekly pattern discussions so we can talk about more recently what's going to be coming up this week in the threat zone. So, what we're first going to go and look at is currently what is happening throughout the country, and this is your current model observations of what has come out and what has been looking rather interesting, or just the pattern that we've been in. And the pattern that we have been in over the west, a little bit of a ridge, east, a little bit of a ridge, but here comes an interesting trough here, and this is actually appears to be the next very cold trough and cold shot comes through for the east. And this one is not just coming alone. It's not just coming with one factor, and that is cold air. It's coming with some energy. And when you talk about a trough that's very cold, it's coming with energy, you think to yourself, snow? Well, you might be guessing right. There is a chance for snow coming in on your around Wednesday into Thursday throughout the upper Midwest, throughout the Great Lakes and the Northeast portions for this mid to late week. And that comes with a system that's actually coming down from Canada. And what that's going to do is seep down with the trough here. And then once it gets to PA, there's rather a very big question to what is going to happen throughout that circled area. A lot of models are tending to be stronger with a possible tapping low pressure off the coast, or just this energy that comes down, sweeps through the region just like the cold air did, and really doesn't leave more than a few flakes or such. So the big concern is, what is this going to do? It looks pretty dominant for the next 48 hours on the models, but what's it going to do when it starts to come down? And that's going to really remain the big question on whether or not how tilted the trough is and how much energy can get splurted in. And the one thing as well that is very interesting is there's two energy pieces. There's one off the southern New England coast, and there's another one around Virginia and New Jersey around here. And the big thing that really needs watching is whether this here taps to the one up southern New England or it taps to the one down in Virginia. Those are the two areas that need to be watched. The thing about this system is there's not a lot of moisture being brought into it, so the chances of it tapping and a big coastal forming are really out of the question, and a lot of snow would be really out of the question. But as for some areas seeing an inch or two, and maybe some areas that never see snow seeing a flake, that's something you can bring into the equation. So now as we go a little further throughout the model here, now this is when it gives you a clear, evident picture of what the 12Z GFS did today. It brought the storm down, okay, and it seemed as though what happened is the back trough here started to dig together, because this ridge was starting to strengthen backwards, and that started pushing everything off just too quick, just too quick. High pressure really bombs, and that's pushing everything eastward way too quick. And what that's doing is that's making sure that this storm does not go and strengthen fully, and that's disrupting the moisture on the models and a lot of that stuff. So that's what you kind of start to look at toward your Thursday, and that is whether or not and how strong the high pressure is down around the south or southern Midwest on maybe around your Arkansas, Missouri area, and it's going to be a pretty widespread area, all the way extending to the Dakotas and all the way down to Florida. And again, that's going to be the one thing that needs to be watched compared to where the precip is and how good it looks, because you have another low area up there. It just kind of extends itself. It gets really confusing out by 72 hours, because at 42 hours we were talking about something looking a lot more clear. You had a low pressure come down here, there's a high pressure moving out, there was a trough coming down, seemed like everything was going to come through, somebody was going to get snow. But we go to 72 hours here, and I'm even trying to explain it, and I can't myself, because you look at it and you just don't know what happens. You have the low pressure, and then you have moisture all over the place. You got moisture now over Virginia, the Delmarva, New Jersey. You got some over Ohio. Then as we go a little further on the model run here, we have even some at 84 hours now all over Pennsylvania. We're just really not sure exactly what this is going to do. And again, I really think the biggest thing here from preventing this to be a big storm is this high pressure here that's really whipping. It really wants to push this trough out quick. And I think if this high pressure and this blocking is able to let this storm breathe coming down from the upper Midwest, I think you could have a problem in ways of maybe some areas getting a surprising snow around your Thursday and Friday. So again, it's up in the air. It's one of those things right now where it's going to be very, very short term. We're not sure where the storm's going to go. We're not sure if it's going to tap to the one in Virginia and southern New Jersey or the one in southern New England. It's going to be a really big question here. And all I can say is the energy's there. It's just which one is it going to pick up. And that really remains to be seen as the big picture for the East this week. Now, as for the West, not too much to talk about it really at all. You just have a lot of warm weather, big ridge builds, warmer weather, drier weather, and actually once this trough moves out, the storm system tries to move in from the northwestern part of the United States, and we'll have to talk about that later. But as for your current weekly understanding of what's going to be happening or coming up, that most action you're probably going to see is coming through the upper Midwest and into the Mid-Atlantic. But folks, I explained it to you, but I would still really keep your eyes open on this, because this is sometimes how you can get some really big storms, and if you have the right dynamics, they can turn to being from nothing on the models to actually something. Now, regardless of who gets the snow, that's the big question. You're talking about a lot of light green in here throughout New York, Pennsylvania, really generally the whole Northeast, and the light green is the lowest percentage of precip that you can get, and you can't even go and say that this whole area is going to be blanketed with snow because of how low the precip chances are. So again, just watch it. Don't go out and forecast anything yet. I think I would give it another day and a half. Maybe by Tuesday evening, start looking at the storm itself actually in the upper Midwest and see if it looks any different, or to see if that high pressure is going to let it breathe or is not going to. So those are the big questions that remain to be answered, and we will talk about that later on as we head into your Tuesday. So I'm U.S. Weather Analyst Andrew Fleck, just with your afternoon Monday weather pattern discussion.